What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at Tesla today. We're going to go over some technicals and some indicators. We've been riding up this upward sloping trend line. We got a strong bounce off it. We got one, two, maybe three touches here, and we got four or five here. We got two touches and then a strong move up. We're actually rallying off of bad news. The deliveries came up short. I think it was about 40,000 short. I believe it probably has to do with Elon Musk and his political involvement, along with some other factors. But either way, you use these opportunities. Like if it were to drop, use these opportunities to buy. Um, and sometimes that's why I also think the technicals are strong. Sometimes I know where people think fundamentals are more strong than technicals. But when you see stuff like this, you're like, okay, this was terrible news, but we're still rallying, and the board is asking him to step down. So this is nothing but negativity, but somehow we're getting a strong bounce off of this level. So it's like, does narrative follow price, or does price follow narrative? So I don't know. I kind of believe that the narrative will follow price. So if things shoot up, then they're going to say, oh, it's because FSD is making so much progress, this and that. If it falls, it's going to be, well, you know, Elon Musk is part of this with Doge and this and that. So it's negativity. That's just how it always goes. I feel like the price action will lead, and then the narratives will follow. They will find a positive scenario or article to talk about when it's rallying up, and we'll find a negative article to talk about when it's falling down. Just my opinion. Whatever. I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I see it. But anyways, we broke out of this downward sloping trend line. We got to break out, push back down, retest off of this downward sloping trend line along with the upward sloping trend line. So it's confluence for price to move up higher. Now we do want to break above this horizontal level of support or resistance, currently acting as resistance. We want to break above it, get a retest. We want something to see. We want to see something like this, retest and move up higher. Now we could get a clean move. When you look to the left here, you have 2, 3 clean candles. So let's see if we get a strong move up to about 365 or so. We have seen a move like this pretty similar before, where we get a strong move up to the upside and then a lot of consolidation for a couple of years. So we've seen a strong move up, and we've been consolidating for a couple of years now as well. But we are making higher highs, higher lows. So this is looking very bullish. But at the same time, this one looks a little bit distorted from this one because you had that 2022 drop in there where it kind of distorts where price was actually going to go. In this time period here, we didn't have any kind of recessions or any scares. So there was nothing to kind of distort the price, as you can see. We didn't get anything until 2020. After things were rallying up, we got that drop, and then it recovered like nothing ever happened. But Tesla's looking good. Strong move to the upside. Very, very strong. Price action looked a little funny with the gaps up, gapping down. But this looks very, very bullish. Very bullish. So let's see if it ends up playing out and pushing all the way up. But if you pull a golden zone, a fib from here, we have a golden zone at 385 to about 355, 351. So let's see what happens when price reaches that point. If we get a rejection, or if we continue and break right through it, and we get a V-shaped recovery off of this entire move here, and we act like this move never even happened. Because Tesla moves very quickly, as you all know. In the snap of a finger, this thing can rally very quickly. And when we pull a fib from here, from the bottom to this top here, we've had some plays off of the golden zone, the 0.5 to the 0.618, which is a strong continuation of the bull trend. We fell underneath it, we went back above it, and we just kind of been playing around with that level. But this last retest was off the bottom part of the golden zone, the 0.618. And then this retest here was off the 0.5 here. So we got 2 touches, and now it looks like we're trying to make a move up higher. So we'll see how it plays out. It's looking pretty good though. On the daily SMAs, we're looking good. We got a strong move. We opened right on the 20 SMA, and now it looks like we're trying to push to the 200-day. Let's see if we get a close above it. That would be very, very bullish to start the next day off on top of the 200-day to support price to move up higher and eventually break the 50 and take off. but we also want to break this downward sloping trend line at the same time. On the weekly, looking very good. We're slowly pushing through the 50. Let's see if we get a close this week above the 50 and then maybe a retest and push up to the 20 week. As the 20 week and the 50 combined are two strong indicators in terms of bull trends. On the Bollinger Bands, we got two strong moves off the weekly Bollinger Band on the bottom band, and we shot back up. So now we're headed to the blue band, which coincides with this downward sloping trend line, which we need to break, which could allow price to trampoline up higher. On the daily, we're pushing towards that red band, the top band, and sometimes when we're in those rallies, we tend to hug it and then come back to the blue band. So let's see how it turns out. Hopefully we can get a move like this or like this and just continue up higher. RSI looks great, higher highs, higher lows. We're creating a nice little trend line, a very steep trend line at that. We hit oversold levels and now we're towards the midline now, and we're bouncing off this trend line, creating higher highs, higher lows, looking very, very bullish, showing that there's a lot of strength in price and that there can be a very sustainable move coming very soon. And it looks like price tried to get to oversold levels, but it looks like it's already turning back around, and we're pushing towards that midline, and we're eventually going to run into this moving average where we have to make a decision if we want to continue on down or make a V-shaped recovery for this move right here and push all the way back up to overbought territories, which is what we want to see. On the MACD, we're looking perfect. We have the blue line above the orange pushing up, and we're creating volume as we're going up. So we had this push up. You can see the candle started turning white and it was starting to go down a little bit, but now we're starting to get green candles again. And let's see if it can reform again and see some strong moves like we can see here to the upside to push along with that RSI. And you have price and sustainability underneath price. And now on the weekly MACD, we're looking very good. It looks like we're trying to get this red to start dwindling down and this blue line to start curling back upward and overtake this orange line and get another move like this with 2 or 3 solid green hills right here. Like you can see, large moves to the upside with strength and volume. Overall, I think this looks very bullish. I know Elon has a lot of political involvement and it's affecting the company, but overall, I think it's still a great buy long term. Even if the company doesn't have Elon, it'll still thrive because of how far FSD has gone already, and Optimus, and he hires very intelligent people within the company. So the company will be able to sustain itself whether he's there or not. Obviously, it might not progress as much as we'd like with Elon in there because of how smart the guy is, but it would still do great things whether he's in there or not. So I think it is a long-term buy for sure. Buy and hold. I think these levels are to accumulate long-term. You want to have this in your portfolio for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and DCA into this. Overall, I think it's definitely a buy, and I would just continue to accumulate, not financial advice, of course. I'll see you guys in the next one.